What's up, studs, studettes? What's up, studs, studettes? ¿Cómo está usted? Oh, Chris, there are a couple others you had there. Hold on here. Yo, you could do MSTR. You can put it in play. I don't know if it's a long or short, but it just seems like there's not much of a reaction. What's up, studs, studettes, bros, gigolos, mamalos? Mamalos, is that a word? Yeah, why not? Fucking A, man. It is good, 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 good. All right, let's get to work here, man. We got stuff to do. It's Thursday. We got some earnings plays out. We're getting towards kind of the middle to slightly end of earnings season. Not end, but we're getting towards more of the guts of it is coming through. So we got a lot of stuff to kind of go over. We got a lot of stuff to go over here. I think this VKTX is probably um I think this VTX is probably right up your alley too. All right. Look at this Lays. This Lays has got a little bit of squeeziness too. So maybe it follows this BBWs. Yeah, maybe it follows the BBWs. This BBWs was pretty hot yesterday. It was pretty hot yesterday. You never get these little guys move this damn clean, right? Fucking, you never get the little guys to move this clean. So you had yourself a little chatters for the ladies. It did an ORB and it was actually fairly clean. So you can't ask for much more than that. So, maybe you stick a little lays on the watch list and see what's up. You got a PR out on this thing this morning, and yeah, it does look like it's starting to pick up some steam. Let me see what they're saying about this thing. Lays. Lays to host Quantum Day at NASDAQ Roundtable closing ceremony, February 11th. Lay strengthens his quantum safe roadmap by allocating up to $20 million into cutting edge startup investments, blah, blah, blah. Announces unoperated key operational financial metrics, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it might be something. We'll see what's up. Hey, Billy, what you doing? Cool. All right. Well, let's get into first the indexes. It's always the first thing we want to do, right? Let's take a look at this indexes while I get my face creams on. So we had a really nice day in the QQQs yesterday, right? You had yourself, I would say, pretty much after the opening kind of thrust down, pretty much a trend day for the most part. A sloppy one, but a trend day nonetheless. We are still in the midst of, right, just a monstrous range, and you're getting all the range trading caveats that come with it. What I mean by that is, oftentimes when the market's looking good, it's getting rugged. And then when the market's looking bad, right, it's popping and then it's getting rugged and it's popping. And that's just range trading in a nutshell, right? Whenever you think you're safe, you're unsafe, right? Whenever you think you're safe, you're unsafe. And that's just range trading in a nutshell because it's just buy the bottom, sell the top till this range breaks itself off. So you want to always think of like a stock or the market, right? Like in a giant box. And so what happens is if you're inside the box, you're just playing the box up and down till the box breaks. And then the new top becomes the bottom. And now, right, you have a different box that you're essentially playing. So, like in layman's terms, that's probably the easiest way to just look at it. So you're just in this monster cock, monster box here. Right, same thing on the spy, and the spy looks like it's a little bit closer to maybe clearing out that box, but in essence, nobody really trades SPY stocks anyways, right? So let's just kind of keep an eye. The Qs has been a little bit tricky. And I would say, look, the QQQ in the market has been very resilient. No matter what you think about the economics or anything else that's happening, earnings, plays, anything. What you got to remember is that the market is still damn 5-6 points away from all-time highs. Even with this tariff stuff, new administration, you had Google, right, shit the bed on its earnings, right? Google shits the bed on its earnings, right? Microsoft, right, also got pummeled on its earnings. AMD, right, got nasty little down day at the open yesterday on the earning. And even with all of that kind of stuff, here we are. The market has shaked all this up. We've had hints of inflation rising. Market has it's reacted on a day-to-day basis to it, but the market has actually held up pretty damn well. You have the Fed coming out saying they're not really going to be cutting that many rates anymore, right? Fucking mortgage rates are like at 8%, right? People's credit card rates and all this stuff, they're so high. And the market here has been still shaking it off. So no matter what you think of the market, the damn market is holding up, right? It has Teflon donned everything. So yes, we are in a range, and it's not been necessarily like a gangbusters, run, but it's been very tradable. There's been pockets of strength. There's been pockets of heat, whether it's nuclear stocks or, right, some of these AI stocks like TEM, some of the Pelosi trade, so on and so forth. There's been pockets and pockets of stuff, right, over the last whatever, right, over the last month. And so that's really the main thing. As long as we can find a couple things to trade, right, we're golden. Like, how many things do you need, you greedy bastards, right? This is good. And you don't want to see, right? You don't want to see the market like just kind of cruising up nonstop without these kind of breaks, right? You don't want the market to be cruising up without breaks. And so when you have like such a run from August to December, you got to spend that subsequent time, 1, 2, 3, 4 months also, right? Digesting these gains and so on and so forth. And through all of this, the market has been, right, absorbing bad news very rapidly and still holding out, right? Still holding out. The world hasn't ended, even though, whether people are looking at the interest rates or the inflation or tariffs, here we are. We're still around and we are still cooking, baby. So let's get in and see what kind of earnings plays we got. Let's go in and see what kind of fun fandazzlement we've got. And we're going to get this thing cooking and booking like good God-fearing men, right? So you got Lipo here. Great name, by the way. 33 million shares. Look, if you're into these little guys, this is your type of stock, right? It's a reverse split stock. The float on this is tiny. These things are moving around. Not my particular play, but I don't fault you for getting that itch, right? Quantum Biopharma, also a very good name, right? Hey, look, half of the stock market is just about picking a good name for your company, right? You get a good name, you're going places. So, hey, look, you want to trade some small caps, go for it on this one too. Whoa, what's up with this bad boy? 2-5. You know what? I could be interested in this one. This one used to be $90, if I recall correctly. Oh, $100. This is the hot tech stock for a while. Multi-billion-dollar market cap. It's been just sitting around this base for a pretty long time. You got a little gap up on this thing on earnings. The last time it had some news going on was, back over here, and it went from $1.50 to 4.50 relatively quick. I really thought this was going to be the bottom. And then it kind of, shit the bed again. This is probably a longer term bottoming pattern. There's a lot of fits and starts and things that are happening in it. I'm into this. I'm into this. I would add this. Like, this is not going to trade like a low float name, right? Um, you're going to be able to come in and do the Lord's work on this thing. Let's add that. Let's add that bad boy to the watch list. And we'll talk about how to kind of play them all in a little bit. Good. Hey, by the way, look at this Peloton. This, Chris, might be up your alley too, right? So this is also a beaten down name, right? You got a kind of a big zone here, a breakout between 10 and 11. This I'm into. Dude, let's add this one. I want you to add in Peloton. I want you to add in this apps. Even this lays. Now, I don't like trading these little guys, but look, sometimes we got to do it. All right? Sometimes we got to do it. TPR, old tapestry. Hey, do these guys actually make tapestries? It's fucking amazing. This stock's been a rampage. Dude, I had so much of this for a swing trade when it broke this range over here. And I sold this thing for pennies. Look at this fucking thing. Not pennies, but a handful of dollars. Fuck. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Man, what you think? Heck yeah. I'm into it. It is up a lot. Like for this kind of stock, it's a little bit of a thicker stock. But I'm into it. Add it. Cores, the stock sucks a trade, FMCC. Hey, these are some mortgage companies. You are seeing some, dude. You're seeing some action on these things. Like you can see this thing starting to come out of some ranges. I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's a little bit thin in the pre-market, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. This is Fannie Mae. Like these got looks to it. It did 17 million shares yesterday. Dude, I'd add these. I mean, you got a breakout here, and you're really clearing out, decades probably worth of supply, right? Look at this. Really clearing out like a decade and a half of range. Dude, what do you think? That ain't so bad. Not usually my particular flavor. That's not my particular cup of tea. I'm more of a coffee man. But, the big hairy Indian butt is that this has got a gosh darn look. Dude, let's add it. Let's add it. Good. We're gonna flip through. I'm just doing a quick peruse, and then we're gonna kind of congeal the list and let it marinate. Hey, this American superconductor company's got a great name too, by the way. And you've got a level here at 30. It's a little bit of a lower float name, trades thin. Great fucking name, right? American super duper conductor company. Dude, you can't beat that. But you got a spot here. Let me see. Apps earnings. Hey, American super duper conductor company also got earnings. It's a little bit thin on this one. Sean T, baby. Sean T. Yo, love your fitness videos, baby. Oh, man. You crush. Dude, anybody remember? Did anybody do those back in the day? Those were great. Hold on. Get my little cream on here. There we go. Woo! Now I'm feeling fresh. Yo, American Super Duper Conductor Company's got earnings out. $30 range break there. Let's add that. A little bit thin, but it's, in today's day, thin should be celebrated. All right? Hell yeah. Bomb. Da-da, 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 da-da. That's not bad either. What do you think? Oh, man. Not bad. Philip Morris coming in hot. Dude, the Marlboro Reds, baby. Guidance provided. I wonder how they're always beating earnings. Like, who's still, man, Siggies are a nice thing. But, like, who's rocking them anymore? You can't do them in public without shaming. All right, but there was nothing back. Those early 2000s, those late 90s, sitting out in the cold outside a bar, middle of winter, bumming some smoke from bumming a smoke from some unsuspected lady. Next thing you know, things are happening. Things are happening. Everybody's smelling like ciggies. Man, those are good times in life. Your whole room would smell. Bed sheets would smell like the cigarettes, not the person, of course. But that's nice. I didn't know this thing is still back. Man, those are great times. When I had hair, your hair would smell. You can't beat that. No wonder the kids aren't getting laid anymore, right? It's like you're missing out on all the things that you need to get laid. It's like you need the ciggies. You need the booze. You need people willing to make bad decisions and not wake up at 5 a.m. and do meditations. All right. No wonder nobody's having no kids. Just can't do it. Man, we may just put this thing on for old time's sake over here, right? I'd be shocked if it has too much follow through because it is a little bit of a thick stock, but shit. We'll add it for now. We may take it off. Boy, let me see this ASTS. Oh man. Yeah, you could add this. Look, this ASTS has, it is coming out of range and stuff. The issue on this is that it's up 4 or 5 days in a row, right? So you're up a lot of days in a row now. You're into a little bit of a weird spot because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. You're at the top of the Bollinger Band. You may need to pull back a little bit here, right? KMR, you may need to pull back a little bit right there and kind of back and fill this zone before you come in on this. All right. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Does that make sense? Dude, this KC, there's something going on with this company. I've been watching this thing literally since it came every fucking day. Since it came out of this breakout at 4, and it's just like gapping up. Just boom, boom. Before you know, you're just sitting there like, it's only $10. What's a big deal? And then it's like bam, 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 bam. And it's really doing it. It's nice. Man, that's nice, right? Good. Now let's take a look. Look at this Under Armour. You got earnings on this bad boy too. This stock sucks to trade though. Good, good, good. All right. Well, let's take a look here. Let's do a little. Let's do a little hunting for a quick second. All right, and see what is going on out in the world. All right. So, a couple things. And by the way, if anybody's got any tickers they want to look at or anything like that, just let me know. All right. Dun 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, you can see Roblox is also shit the bed on earnings. We'll go over that in a second. VKTX breaking down too. And Qualcomm and ARM, we need to go over those too. I think those are all going to be important. The semiconductor market is not reacting well at all on any of these kind of on any of these earnings plays, right? So there's something to be said about that, right? AMD's and no buenos, right? You're just not getting, man, you're really not getting the action you need from any of them. So, Qualcomm, ARM also, we'll see what's up, right? We'll see what's up and kind of, dude, we're gonna get this thing going. But that's a no buenos, right? So you want to see some of this, but you got on the upside, right? You got some new stocks here, right? Oh, yum, little Ralph Lauren, and you can see here, jung, and then yeah, you got all these kind of small caps going too. Boom, 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 boom. All right, well, let's take a look and just take a quick look, see what kind of economic stuff. So you got jobless claims 830, those already came out. The natural gas report, none of this really matters. You do got a couple Fed speakers, but they're later in the day. Commodities fairly muted. And then you see really light on the upgrade life too, right? Reddit's a neutral. Like what you really want to see is like some monster cock upgrades from some of these. So before the market, we have all these earnings. Dun, 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 dun. Peloton, Roblox. We're gonna go over Roblox in a hot second. We got Tapper. We already did. Under Armour sucks to trade. Yum Brands is more of a Chinese thing now. We're exporting all our Taco Bells to China. Good for them, right? And then after the market, you got a firm, which is looking actually pretty good. And then apps, cores, you got a couple little doohickeys over here. Ford beat by EPS, revenue beat, but it's getting punished. ARM EPS at 39 cents, beat by 5 cents. It's also getting punished. Qualcomm EPS 3.41, beat by 50 cents, also getting punished. So what do you notice here, right? Like this is like some of these stocks, right? They're coming through, but they're still getting punished, right? So there's probably something on those calls that they don't like. A lot of it is just, the CapEx spending and kind of this kind of stuff. So just be a little bit mindful as we go through this. Oh, shit. Yeah, you can see here, right? You're just not getting any follow through on some of this stuff. So that'll be interesting to watch. We'll kind of put these on the watch list. We need to go over these two because I think those are going to be in play. AMD kind of was a little bit of a nothing burger yesterday, but we'll see how these two react. Cool. All right, let's get going. Hey, Penguin, what up, baby? All right, so let's take a look at Qualcomm here. Yeah, so you can see here down about 5%. They got some tops first quarter views amid record revenue. This thing has been stuck in a range for so long. So record revenue, nobody gives a shit, right? It's not its time, and that's the good reason why you always want to not take guesses on earnings, right? Like you can have record revenue, and the stock still will go down because it's just the technicals are just set up that way, right? I think we add this in, to the watch list. Let's see if we get a play out of this. And then, Arm's in a little bit more tricky location. Arm's in a little bit more tricky location. You still got some room to fall down here. It does move pretty good too. They also beat on their earnings, but it may not matter. So I think both of these are in play. But what I don't like is the locations, right? Like when I trade breakdowns or breakouts, right? I want these things to be clean. I want them to be clearing out levels or vice versa, right? And you're not necessarily getting that. So something to just kind of be a little bit mindful of. All right. Let's kind of go back through this for a second because we got a couple things that we need to do here. So Tesla here is also gapping down. Tesla is also gapping down here, and you've got like kind of a spot that it's like starting to roll through. My guess is this: if it comes down into this 361, that was the breakout spot that started this big run. You'll get below the lower Bollinger Band, and that's probably where you started to bounce, right? You're starting to retrace $120. You're at a 17 stochastics. One more down day will set up for a bounce. So today it still looks like it's rolling over. I don't think you want to step in front of it. You need to let it stretch out. See how like it's been going down, but it's been so orderly. So when it's orderly, like you don't want to try to bounce it long, right? It's just like you want to short the pops because it's breaking down. But at some point, if it speeds up to the downside and stretches this bad boy, then I think we start looking at it, right? Then I think we start looking at it for a potential long. And look, in general, Tesla has been declining in sales and all this stuff forever, right? It probably doesn't matter. For some reason, a lot of these companies they just move and do what they do. Yeah, it's all right. A couple things I want to watch for today. Baba on the non-earning side. This is tightening up here. To me, man, it looks like it could get going. 103 is the breakout. If we got there, man, we're in for some fun, right? But like it's tightening up here, and I think dude, we got to play there somewhere. PDD yesterday had an inside day, right? So you had the big run, and then yesterday really narrow range day inside the previous day's range. To me, that's pretty bullish right there. It held the gap down. It was down like 6-7% at one point, and it held it. And so this is actually looking pretty bullish too. I want you to watch this 115 zone of love. Dude, that's nice. Let's add this. Baba, PDD. Dude, Future looks fucking great, right? Like, dude, you just marinating here? Man, if this thing rips this 100 spot, like you got a lot of upside because you're going to take out this range too. I mean, you get to 105, then you get to 113, then you get to 120, and you do it. You probably do it pretty fast. So I want you to add in all three of these bad boys. These are not earnings plays. They're just regular companies, right? KC I thought was just probably a little bit extended. I mean, you can day trade it, right? But it had this huge dump yesterday, right? So it's just you can tell it's when stocks start dumping off like this off the big pop. See, it's like at 3 days of these kind of really big dumps. It's telling you that it's getting a little bit long in the tooth, right? There's like somebody's probably selling it, and it's also getting bought up, right? So, but that typically will happen when you get extended. So you just want to kind of chill out for a second, let it do what it's got to do. Yeah, I think Tem is probably, got an 80 mark into it, but it needs to pull back here. I like these. I like some of these other ones that are consolidating a lot more, right? Like I like Twilio. Right? I like Snow. These are nice, but they're slow, right? They're like not really that speedy, right? Like they're not fast like fucking Oklo, where they just like rip like $6 and then die, right? But the Oklo's probably a little bit long in the tooth. Hey, Sridhar, You got a spot here. You got a spot here, and you got a month before earnings. So just it's getting there, buddy. It's getting there. Hey, DC, where you been the last few days? Hey, so look, Palantir, watch this 100 spot. It looks like it's just been marinating there. That's your inflection point, right? Like where it's just been like kind of getting bought up and bought down. It needs to hold that area, then that'll kind of tell you. I mean, it's still got time to form up. If it loses this, then, you may fill some of this gap, depending on just the market conditions itself. Guys, let's kind of just bounce back through this real quick. You got apps. These are some earnings plays, news plays, right? Lay's, TPR. Now, this one might be a little long in the tooth already for what it can do. Peloton. Looks good. Hey, and then Fannie and Freddie, both coming out of range. This one doesn't do that much liquidity, but still 5-6 million shares. Fannie does more. 17, 20 million. That's a good look, right? You got a 10, 15-year breakout right there. Heck yeah. And then I believe Amazon earnings are after hours. You got American Super Duper Conductor Company, very thin in volume, so you're going to have to be careful on that one, but it's got some spots. And then Philip Morris, I guess people are still hitting those reds, baby. Hey, and I believe, I thought SMCI came out today, so you can leave that alone too. Leave some of this alone. Yeah, Docu looks fine. But I do like these Chinese names. To me, they feel like they're a little bit. If they weren't such rundies, man, I would probably swing these. Like they both have an awesome setup. Yeah, you got Snow. These are. This is nice. Good. Hey, W Day did have earnings yesterday too. Right, you got a nice little. It was trading a little thin, so I didn't trade it. But you could roll with it. DC, I'm not sure. It would depend on just how the setup congeals as it gets close to there. I mean, you still need a trading pattern. Like you can't just short the gap to short the gap. If you have a level, you still need some level. You still need some kind of pattern to kind of come through, right? Whether it's an ORB or quick pullback short or whatever it might be. All right, good. All right, that's the list. I'm sticking to it. Watch the Chinas. Hey, and then look, we've got some doohickeys here on ARM and Qualcomm that I think we're gonna have to add those too. Dude, NNE looked so hot yesterday. We ripped it for a few points and it fucking just died after. Yeah, you could do BBWs if you want. ARM, Qualcomm. Cool. All right, let's go do what we do, baby, which is the